Hey, what's going on? Today we are starting locks on some color treated locks. I mean color treated hair. Now, the difference between her hair and any other hair is because she's lifted it just a little bit. She's put like I don't know if you use a box or what? A box? So what was it, like a bleach?
No, it was
Like a copper or something?
yeah, copper.
Okay. But the thing about those colors, to lift up out of the black, because a black is pretty much an opaque color that's not one of your primaries or your secondaries, you have to lift the black, and it takes a bleach to a bleach level to lift the black. So what happens at this point is certain levels of melanin are lost, certain levels of oils are lost, certain levels of hair. At this point, certain levels that are needed, like nutrients and ingredients, are gone. They're out of here, seriously. So the hair becomes a little more brittle, it becomes a little more unmanageable, it's dry, so you have to put the balance back into it. That's where your conditioners are important. A lot of these boxes will give you a conditioner, and that's cool. You know, if you can't find another one, I'd rather you use something, so go ahead and use that. But I recommend you use something strong, like something with some proteins in it, something that's going to stimulate that scalp, something that's going to bring something back to that hair. My favorite is the Design Essential Stimulation. I have to use this one because I know that it's going to do everything that I need. And when assessing hair, I put this conditioner on every hair type, every hair level, from thin to thick. You know, doing the deep conditioners, regular conditioners, with the cap or without the cap, you know, and rinsing it out, and I get the same results. It's bringing me back to certain levels, and that's what makes me proud. That's what's necessary. Because I can go in and just start combing at her hair, and especially when starting locks my way, with my comb, I'm going to use this fine tooth, and that's going to cause issues. You must like my information, you know. You right there, baby.
I'm learning.
You learning?
I'm learning.
What have you learned so far?
That you have nothing in that spray bottle, Rhea.
If I got some corner, see? It got the point across for that corner.
You got making products over here, and you scraping stuff together.
Excuse me? Who you talking about?
You over here making stuff, and you don't have nothing.
What's my name? I make stuff.
Makeshift.
No.
How do you,
My
how
name
do
is
you even
Integrity.
know that you're making what you're putting in?
Trial and error. That's a great question. So trial and error, I use it on someone that allows me to use it on them, and they teach me something. Every day is a new lesson. Every day is something new. But back to what I was saying. So we put the conditioners on. We do all of those things that are highly necessary for the color treated hair, just because we know that the hair is not at its normal state. And that's a great thing. So we just start adding balance back, putting things in there that makes it necessary, so that down the line, when she's locked, this hair does not begin to fall off. Knowing that the dread process is shedding hair into the canal that we make, that can be just a bunch of dead hair pretty much. So if you're not moisturizing it before it goes to that level, it's going to cause you issues down the line. So you heard the older people back in the day that started their locks, that was like true to the brotherhood, and now they like got that little part right there that's gone, and they doing that cover up thing. That's what happened. The lock game started on one level, but at this point we're gonna change that level and make it a more something that we can have for a longer period of time, pretty much. So go ahead and put these things back in there. Associate what's necessary for this part of the hair, especially, you know, since the summer's coming around, we out coloring, trying to look fancy free. She really got her color going down. She did like 5 bleaches within the last week alone. So that's just to show you, you know, the people are wanting to do these things. It's fine to do these things. I understand with the risk, you have to go ahead and fix that risk. Don't just throw it in there and be like, I'm good. You know, you are not. Seriously.
Hey, what's going on, people? This right here is what I wanted to show you. Someone actually was braiding this head, and I don't know why they did not stop to realize that they were snatching this baby's hair out, but all along these edges, that hair is just gone. She wants locks, she wants to start locks, and I think it's, you know, it's a healthy thing to start, but it looks like she got a fade. Like, somebody really went in there and just braided her to God's end and snatched this baby's hair completely out of the shaft, which makes no sense whatsoever. And so now what's going to happen is I'm going to start her locks, and she's going to have a head full of locks where this hair is, but all around these edges right here, which you see, she's going to have to grow that in. So we're going to grow that in. I'm going to put some of this Perfective Hair Growth Oil on, one of the things I love to use. And I'm going to restart this game and see if we can bring her back. Hopefully this is just stretch damage and that nothing was really seriously caused from this, what happened. But people, make sure that you are not stretching that hair. You are not snatching that hair. It is just hair. It's a fabric. It will snatch off. This is what I use to go ahead and put on her edges. Perfective Mega Hair Growth Oil. It's really, really good. It brings the hair back in really good levels. I've used it a number of times, and it's just a loose oil, so you really don't need that much. But I think this is a monstrosity. I think this is horrible. This should not have been to this level. It should not be damaged this much. Hopefully, she did not damage the scalp or the follicle in which the hair is growing in. You can see little pieces of hairs right there. But do not braid that hair that tight. Those are edges. This is hair. This is your head. This is your body. You have to take care of this. Please. This makes no sense, my people. So what we're going to do is we're still going to lock her. Alright, now we just about to put her under the dryer. What I did was I went in and I coiled that whole head just using the locking curl solution. Nothing else. As you can see at the bottom of the hair is still dripping just from that solution. There is nothing but no gels, none of the other crap that a lot of people like to use. I didn't use any of that. I twisted it up really good, and I did a middle part to, kind of disguise some of those edges in that back and that, on those sides and all of that stuff, because we as people, we don't want people to see that. So what I went in is I did that. Look at that, how that moves. That is amazing. What I like to do is I like to just go in and formulate the hair in its natural state and just twist it up real good and make it happen. Look at Choppy. She hasn't been feeling good, so everybody.
Alright, this is the finished result to another starter lock that we have here. And you can see here the Sharita is going ahead putting that Black Queen all on now, making that happen, and shining it up, giving it a nice shine. Although she has thin hair, we still made the parts even enough and natural enough to where you still don't see a bunch of lines, a bunch of extra shit going on in here. It's just a natural flow of locks and parts and everything else into her scalp. And you can see from the ends of her hair what the curl pattern of her hair is like. And it's like a loose curly, but it's still predominantly curly. So I would say 80% curly with maybe a 15 or 20% straight. But it works. It looks good. And just using a healthy regimen, this will all come back to place, and we'll do what we need to do. But until then, we found a healthy balance up front just to make it go so it won't look retarded. Check me out. Come on. Peace. Hey, what's up? Today we're talking about extending the locks that you already have. Some people have went to others and got the locks extended and got this whole thing going on, and I've seen that to be a monstrosity, just horrible. One thing that's a no-no that I've seen a lot of people do is you start extending your lock from the root and you wrap that whole lock. So one thing you did off top was, one, you doubled the lock. You've already made the lock bigger than what it was. You made the lock base irrelevant, because with the fatter lock, your base ain't gonna go about the same as what you see here. So you're not gonna have a congruent lock. Second thing that you've done is you added more weight to those little bitty strands of hair that the lock was already hanging on to in the first place. So then you just made it another situation, especially if you're not shampooing, conditioning, drying that hair like you're supposed to, oiling it, and doing all the other things on a proper regimen. You've just basically snatched your hair out. You have not seen these things happen yet, but I guarantee you down the line they will. My process of adding my locks for lock extensions, depending on the size, and you see this man has a small to medium sized lock. I'm not going to take a big huge piece of hair. That's it. That's pretty much all that's needed. Take this piece, I'm going to find my smallest decelerated piece where the piece kind of thins off a little bit, and I'm going to wrap that around the edge of his lock, the very end, but making sure that I'm still using a strong point of the lock so that I'm not going to snatch anything off down the line, being that this is full of shedded dead hair. So we're gonna braid this little piece on here, not bring it to the end. That's just another level of wasting our time. So then once I go in, I put that piece on, holding my braid securely. I add a small piece of my human hair, and I begin to wrap above the braid, finally coming over the braid and sliding my hands on down, watching as I congruently go through and make that lock even. Like you just can't throw stuff in there and say, okay, that's a lock extension, it ain't going nowhere. Yes, it will. Down the line, yes, it will. I heard a guy saying somebody did a lock extension on him, used crochet needle, used all of these other things, and I was like, what the hell was a crochet needle for? You just experimenting. You don't even know what you're doing. Because if you know how to use this hair, you'll understand that this hair has a friction to it already, in which you don't even have to do that much. Wrap it successfully, making sure that it's tight. Just slide it on down, and you can just go on about your business. Once I finish them, they start off looking like this with the ends, and I don't cut them. But once I do finish, this is the final. This is the end of it, and you can see on both sides how he went from this to this to this. Well, from this to this, and you can see that it's an even lock extension. You can't tell like a whole bunch of crap is going on. He don't look like he just got a hair full of weave and all this other kind of stuff. It don't look retarded. It looks even, like he grew it out. If you're going to use hair extensions, please make sure that the hair extensions are doing just that for you, giving you the illusion of a length versus giving you the illusion of a wig. That's not the purpose of adding in something to your hair if you're going to add it in. Make sure that the person that's putting it in for you knows a way to balance, a level of balance of putting it in, so that when you have other issues down the line and you need levels of repair, it doesn't make it a big, bulky, nasty situation. Know what products are put in this and how to associate them. This is one of the worst styles I have seen to snatch people out because they're getting it so quickly with the wrong type of hair and the wrong type of things, and it is just sliding straight off that hair or sliding off the scalp. You may not be able to work this quickly, that's fine. Just find you a level to where you can work and get these folks out of here. I heard 20, 16, 18 hours, but I have not seen work that was worth the money. If you done wasted your whole day and this person is just pissed, you gotta go spend more money and do other things. That's irrelevant to other folks' life. It's just crazy. But this is my extension of a lock. Again, the most important part I think people should know about is just adding that to the end. You're not adding that whole lock. There's no reason you should be braiding in stuff way up here. That plus this is big as hell. Then you got to come down and add a whole bunch of hair in the end just to finish that off. When you already have a lock there, use the natural hair that you already have so to still have that versatility to it, and go ahead and finish that off. Now, unlike any other lock extension that others do or others see, you can't move that hair like this. That does not have a bend or a fallback or elasticity level like that. It does not. Because them lock extensions be so tight, they be so hard, they be so ugly. I don't really like them. Just robot fingers stuck all across somebody's head. So pretty much this is a simplistic way of adding it on. Braid you a piece of hair in for your extension level. Go ahead and wrap. Wrap to the desired size, making sure that your wrap is consistent and even. And you should be alright.